to ask our clerk to lead us into prayer.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have called to the performance. We beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen.
So, accounting officer and your team, welcome. We are aware that it was traffic jam which made you not make it on time. But next time, we know Canada is very funny. You try to meander early. Our toilets for gents are on odd numbers, and for ladies are on even numbers. In short, this is the fourth floor. The bathrooms for the ladies is on this floor. For gents, either you go down or you go up. This food is ours, but it's for the guests first. So, accounting officer, I would invite you with your team to have this food, and it is yours. And if you don't start, we shall not touch it. So I would advise you to start, then we shall touch it. Now, our introduction, we shall start with our side, then we go to your side. And basically, in this introduction, our lead person will be our sister with our wife leader. So let us start the introduction.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Nawat Rosemary, Member of Parliament, Amudati District.
Welcome, Rosemary.
Good morning. My name is Florence Mayanja. I represent Bukoto East constituency. I'm the shadow vice chair of this committee.
And you are lead woman today. What again? Oh, okay.
Good morning. I'm Akana Moses, legal officer on the committee.
Good morning, members. I'm Paira Rachel, legal officer.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tuwevaze Arnold, Accountant General's Office, attached to this committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Avako Betty. I'm a senior auditor in the Office of the Auditor General.
Morning, honorable members and the team. I'm Chivirige Timothy, Principal Auditor, Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jean Kabibi, Technical Assistant attached to the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Detective Sergeant Mr. Zandasan, Head Officer attached to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Aimao Mikaya, a Technical Assistant attached to PAC.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Alex Onanyang, Assistant to the Deputy Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Inyali Tom, legal officer.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Gilbert Ainomjisha. I'm the clerk to this committee.
Accounting officer, the rest I will introduce. I'll give you an opportunity.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Batiwe. I'm the accounting officer of Naguru Hospital.
Mulago?
Naguru.
Dr. who?
Dr. Emmanuel Batiwe.
Batiwe. Yeah, Prince.
Yes, the deposed prince from Bunyoro who ran to Busoga.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Regina Mugisa. I'm the Principal Hospital Administrator at Naguru Hospital.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I am Amorimo Dosebi. I'm the Principal Human Resource Officer. Hospital.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm Issa Siraj, Senior Accountant. I head the accounts for Naguru.
I'm called Ushir Chan Milton. I'm the Procurement Officer.
So accounting officer, the other members are the members of the public and the fourth estate. My name is Nandala Mafavi, and the chair of this committee. As I alluded at the beginning, is that our main lead person today will be my sister Florence, backed up by us. But I want to state you're most welcome. And here we're not looking for faults. And we want you to answer and tell us even the challenges which you have gone. And we see how the committee and can advise Parliament to assist Naguru Hospital, Referral Hospital, so that it does better. Health is priority number one, and it's a very high concern of all members of this committee, and of course the public. Nobody can work if he's not well. Nobody can eat food if he's not well. So we want to tell you that you have the support of this committee, so it will be important to you to tell us the truth and what happened and how we can go about it. So having said that, I want to hand you my sister to continue from there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as you are aware, and members in this room, that Parliament appropriates money to carry out services. The Auditor General has noted that Section 45 of the Public Finance and Management Act of 2015 requires the accounting officer to control the regulatory and proper use of the money appropriated to the vote. So, Mr. Chairman, that is why we are here. Some queries were raised by the Auditor General, and Mr. Chairman, we expect the accounting officer to account and address the queries as they were raised by the Auditor General. Query number 1 is about revenue performance. May I request the accounting officer to address the query as it was raised?
Oh, sorry, I handed the accounting officer. You know, my sister, item number 4 was mine. Sorry. She's very, she's very eager to do her work. So, do you have anything about item number 4?
Thank you very much, Chair. Naguru Referral Hospital, like other institutions of health at the referral level, was mandated the task of dealing with the COVID as a treatment center. Initially, at the beginning of the pandemic, we were an isolation center that was dealing with suspects. And to this effect, we've dealt with 120 suspects. And then we've also had 26 confirmed cases who have been under our care. Currently, we have 8 active, and we have discharged 18 as COVID-free. The institution had been mandated to be the isolation center for notifiable and highly infectious diseases in Kampala by the ministry. And to this effect, we have handled also cholera cases in Kampala before. And we have also handled the Crimean Congo Rift Valley fever, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, and also handled the Rift Valley fever diseases in Kampala. We did receive support from the government through the Minister of Health worth 272 million of monies which would be used for a number of activities to coordinate the whole program of COVID response in the area, and go ahead as well do case management, where we would do also involve trainings and availing allowances to staff. We also did surveillance in the region using these monies. And this one did, of course, affect us in a different way, in that our financing was a challenge. But also, like other diseases, like other institutions, our institution was also affected by stigma and fear of the disease initially, and by the lockdown in transporting staff to the place, because unlike other institutions, we don't have accommodation for our staff. So we have been using this money to feed and cater for the welfare of the patients. We've been able to set up this unit, avail the equipment which is required. We have also got even ventilators, 3 of them, through the donations we've been gathering and resource mobilizing from the Chinese government. And we've also got other agencies which were able to give us additional support in kind for sanitizers and other protection equipment which is required for our staff. We have been able to train 48 staff in the response to the disease. We had done this even earlier. We refreshed their training, and we have been handling this disease quite ably, in spite of all the challenges which we've had. The biggest challenge has been the rates of allowances which are set by public service and the ministry were far beyond the budget which we could have. And so the staff still expect support. Secondly, the hospital operates as a system, and different departments do relate inpatient care. So distinguishing who has really managed a patient was a challenge, and still poses a challenge with a lot of disgruntlement and complaints of staff to various authorities about the segregation in payment. That has been the biggest challenge. The other challenge which we have is the chronic one of Naguru space. We own a small plot of 3 acres in town, and we have all our institutions crammed in this. We are suffering from overcrowding, as evidenced by bed capacity of 142%. And as a result, we still look for support from Parliament to enable us to get additional space for our discharge of services to the various patients. We have also been mandated to become the National Trauma Center through acts of cabinet and other meetings in the Ministry of Health. And we are working towards this as well. This also adds compounds on the problem of space, as well as equipment, and therefore supplies, and finally the human resource. So we have to adjust our financing, the human resource, as well as our infrastructure. So this we are looking forward to support. In so doing, we shall also be able to, I think if we have more space, we shall be able to manage the COVID patients better. Because currently our ICU is just a small, our station is just a small 12-bed institution. Now that we're in the phase of community COVID, we anticipate more cases in this institution. That is the general overview which we've had about the COVID. I also like to add that we have not yet lost any patient at that institution. We've been able to discharge most of them. I don't know whether my members may want to add.
No, that's good enough for us. Thank you very much. Now I can hand over to my sister.
We are looking at query number 1. Revenue performance.
Yes. Chair and the Vice and members of Parliament present and the media as well as the Auditor General. It's true that we did underscore the non-revenue performance, and we realized we had set up a budget which was quite unrealistic. And as the Auditor General recommended, we had to streamline our budget and scale it to suit what is currently possible. I agree that the estimates may not have been realistic due to various reasons, but we also have been suffering increased number of general outpatients and inpatients with that average occupancy of 112. There were floor cases that led to that could not be admitted into the private room. Because our rooms are very small and there are few, the majority of patients we are handling in Nakawa division are middle and low class. They are largely peasants from this area here we are having. So most of them cannot afford to pay the revenue sources. Also, we suffered another challenge of our CT scan, which has been one of the main income sources. This is a 10-year-old machine, one of the first in the country, and it's oftentimes faulty with high costs of maintenance. We have reconvened as the Committee for Private Wing Services to come up with more realistic approaches and also determining a better budget for us.
Madam Chair, just a small one. If you look at your statement on page 11, you never declared anything.
The reason why Mr. Chairman, on page 11, the declaration for our tax revenue of 136 million.
Yes, but you are supposed to have declared. What about the beginning A, B, C?
In other words, did you budget for NTR?
Yeah, we had a budget for it. But when you open the IFMIS and you run a report, the approved budget in the IFMIS doesn't show you the item for NTR. It is incorporated within the within management, so it doesn't put it aside. That's why at budgeting, we showed the whole amount of budgeting, including NTR. It's included.
But
yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know whether Naguru is a special case in as far as this issue of NTR is concerned, because with other entities, they at least show what they have budgeted for and then what they eventually received. Now, why aren't you capturing what your target was? And then you also now tell us, okay, from this target, this was what we were able to get.
Honorable is right. We should have put it here. But when you go in this statement, somewhere still, the budget will be shown, the one for NTR.
Madam Chair, maybe instead of wasting time, can Accountant General tell us why you exempted Naguru on this?
Thank you very much, Chair. This issue I think as this is the second time I've had someone having a challenge like this, and I would definitely try to follow up and try to help them and see how they can be able to present it in a better way, because we definitely need to see the warrants also. We need to see, the budgeting side of NTR. It's very important. So I'll take it up, Chair, and I'll make sure that we try to present it in a better way.
Just on NTR, they have told us that much of their NTR comes from the private patients scheme, which they are also saying the capacity is now small. Have you planned to expand those facilities for the private patients wing?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The hospital has been able to put up a structure which is going to house the private outpatient services. So we hope from this unit we shall be able to accumulate more money from our non-tax revenue. In addition, we have also set targets and ingrained this in the performance plans and agreements of the various heads of departments, so that they all work towards a target and we are able to eventually, cumulatively, contribute to the target which we set in our budget.
Mr. Chairman, on the same page 11, the figures on employee costs, can you explain why the actual figures, the actual expenditure is more than the warrants? The same page. The warrants are 6.1 billion and 16, and expenditure is 6.177.
The warrant for salary sometimes does not rhyme with the total employee costs. There are some expenditures that you spend, and as you input on the system captures them as employee costs. So it is possible for the total employee costs to go beyond the warrant for salary and wages. Salaries and wages is not the only employee costs. There are other costs that can come in, and the system captures them as employee costs.
What are you saying? That you have salary, you do some expenditures, and they go to employment costs?
Yes.
Can expenditure be more than a warrant? That's the question which the chair is asking. Can expenditure be more than a warrant?
It cannot be more than the warrant.
That's what the question is here. You had 1.65, but the warrant is 1. The warrant, that was the money you had as your limit.
Yes.
So but you spent more than that. Where did you get more money?
And which are these activities that they smuggled under employee costs?
It's not smuggling per se. Like I said, it is a classification done by the system. For you, as you are paying, it's not like you are smuggling. But when it classifies, it can pick an expenditure and it includes it in the employee cost.
How? If I had 1 million shillings, which I have to spend, if I spend 1.5, where does the 500,000 come from? That is the question. That you had less, but spent more. And if the system picked these figures, where did the system pick them from?
And Madam Chair, we are talking about employee costs. Under whose names are these charges attached or these monies? Because now, according to what you have presented, it's like for each of the staff, you are pegging some money on them. And yet salaries are clear, the scales are clear. Now, does it mean you raise the scale of those people to suit in those monies that you have captured here?
I think
Accounting officer, are you seeing the problem?
Yes, I'm just seeing the problem now. I didn't see.
So you need time, eh? So maybe ask the madam.
Well, I remember we had one of our staff who went abroad for. We had to make a special request for his operation. He had a brain tumor, and he had to go out. I think this is what could have caused the problem, but he seems not to be appreciating that bit.
Dr. Batibo, did you sign on these accounts?
Yes, I did.
Is this your signature?
It is.
But you are saying you are just seeing this now.
No, that discrepancy which you mentioned, sometimes I must confess to my
But it is not a small issue.
Figure.
The variance is 485 million.
That's another side.
Accounting officer, the reason why the chair is raising, you said that you could not put here non-tax revenue. The true story is there's a column here, non-tax revenue. You have seen? You would have had your budget 280, then 136. That would be okay. Eh?
Yes, and put it that way.
No, but here it was missing. And that's why Honorable Rosemary asked, the only entity they have discovered cannot declare non-tax revenue in the budget. That's number one. And that's when it comes to number two. It says, the chair asks, can a warrant, can you spend more than a warrant? And that's what the question is.
We wanted to imagine that we need to look at it and see.
I think sometimes look at this discrepancy.
So, Auditor General, can we spend more than a warrant? So, because the accounting officer needs to understand.
You cannot check. You cannot spend more than a warrant.
You're either equal to a warrant or less than a what? A warrant. So when you see such a figure coming up, which the chair has raised, it is now it is showing that maybe your accounts are not what? They are not correct.
I suspect an error. Really. I suspect an error in this case. It can't be explained.
But what is this 56 which was not budgeted for?
The
56. No, it was budgeted before. That's why I talked about classification, because when you go to this is classification based on nature. If you go to classification based on service, you will not see the 56. So 56 is merely a classification.
What is this?
It is an expenditure, because in the reports it will show it shows it as an expenditure. I think as an employee cost structure.
Mr. Chairman, I beg that we uphold the query and note that Naguru Referral Hospital spent money which they did not have. Wherever they got it from, they have failed to answer.
Yeah.
I'd like to request that maybe we look at this more of an error really, because like we cannot spend beyond what we have.
If it was an error, you would have indicated that there's a problem. And you'd also have, your books of accounts wouldn't balance. Are these balanced, audited books of accounts? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then they wouldn't balance.
Yes, balance it. Because
Mr. Chairman, I suggest we proceed and note as indicated. We'll go to
before we proceed, there was another expense that the accounting officer did mention. He told us that some of the money was spent on one of their staff who had a tumor.
He has corrected that it wasn't from this source, he said.
From which source?
He said it wasn't from this the board here.
Where was it from?
He has requested. We did request for a special. Where was it?
Just put on the microphone.
We requested for a reallocation of money worth 140 million to assist that staff to go abroad for treatment.
What is that evidence?
Sorry?
What is the evidence?
We have the evidence, but we have not carried it.
You have it where? You came to account.
Madam, in most cases, we are so narrowed down on the type of queries that we have, but we have the evidence, we can bring it.
Mr. Chairman, this is an accountability committee which is delegated by Parliament. After interacting with you, we shall have to write a report based on evidence. Whatever you tell us will be attached. You will not be there to explain the way you are explaining here. So if you don't bring it...
That's why we have said we are going to bring it.
we seek that you allow us to bring that request.
Madam, go.
Mr. Chairman, under absorption of funds, can you tell us, there's a query before you, I don't know whether you responded to it.
Yes, accounting officer.
Yes.
You under-absorbed.
The under-absorption of funds were advised by the Auditor General to liaise. It was mainly because of the unutilized funds resulted from the gratuity that had not been paid because there was a delay in processing the gratuity payments as a result of the delay in the verification process. And also our staff structure is not complete, so we could not absorb all the monies. That's the key reason. It was mainly because of gratuity, which was a delay in the processing, the verification process.
Yeah, but accounting officer, you have to help us. All employment costs, you spent even more than what was approved. So how does that come in again?
Mr. Chairman, I think that's why I'm saying there must be a real error there, which is not reflecting the right thing.
Put on.
The budget is 6.6 billion.
No, that's a budget.
Yes.
For us right now, we're looking at, the budget was what?
6.6.
No. We're not now. What we're saying now, the warrants we gave you. What did you
do? This money that remains is considered on the approved budget, not the funding budget. What is approved, how much you have spent on what is approved, but not on the funding budget. The warrant is given on the funding budget.
I think you are making two mistakes. The approved budget is 1 billion. Let us give an example. We release 900 million. You spend 800 million.
Yes.
It means of the 900, you have not spent 100 what? Are you getting it?
Yeah,
I want you to get it clear. Yes. So the under-absorption is not the budget. The under-absorption is that we warranted, gave you money, it fell on your account, but you had no capacity to absorb. Are you getting it? Then that is now a question that even if we gave you the entire budget, you will not absorb. Even what we gave you, you never what? Finished it.
And Chairman, that's why I'm saying there must be an error in this account. Yes. Because that is clear. That's what happened.
You have understood?
Yes.
The under-absorption is a result of what now has been made available in you or to you on your bank account. To go to Bank of Uganda, we have 1 billion. But for you, when you reach Bank of Uganda, you take only 700. The balance is what? 300. The question is, why did you again ask for money we gave you and you never spent? I hope you have understood. So what you're answering here, as far as the employees cost, you see, warrant was 1.65, expenditure was 1.7. You still have a problem on that. Now, you are saying it is employee. No. In fact, the under-absorption is under goods and services. You were given 1.18, even it has a problem. You will see, I think, we gave you a budget of 956. But for you, you got a warrant. We want to find out how you got a warrant more than a budget. Are you, who changes your budget in Bank of Uganda and the Ministry of Finance? You have somebody there changing, oh God. This is what we want to understand.
Mr. Chairman, I still insist today.
Are you really ready to continue today?
Mr. Chairman, there are two figures coming out. The senior accountant is talking of 6 billion. But in the document here, we have 8 billion.
Exactly, total.
Now, why is he taking us backwards to 6 billion?
You put on your microphone, sir.
6 billion is in respect to salaries and wages. The 80 billions is the total for everything, non-recurrent, development. That's what adds up to 80 billion.
Development, you only have 2 billion.
Development, we have 1 billion. 1 billion 55 development,
You see,
and the rest is recurrent.
I hope you have understood what Rosemary is raising. If you want to understand, you do your hands like this. You put warrants, and actually, remember, did you study in primary? You do like this. Then you compare this and this. And Rosemary is saying, you are talking of 8 billion. Or 6 billion? Oh, yes. You are saying 6.165. Isn't it what you're talking about? But you spent 6.177. Now you are saying you want to go back and cross-check that. Didn't you say like that?
Yes, that is on the warrant, on the aspect of the warrant. But the issue of approved budget, there is no problem with that.
I think it is okay. You answered a question on goods and services consumed.
In short, was discovered that under absorption is on goods and what? Services from this table. It's not on the wages which you are talking about.
And majorly, like the director put it up, it was the biggest component was gratuity, which was not consumed.
So it's gratuity under goods and services?
Here it is classified under goods and services. Yeah, because when we get the cash limits for gratuity is under non-recurrent. Gratuity and the pension.
Gratuity is under non-recurrent, under goods and services.
We are looking at this at the classification here, sir.
We need to understand today that gratuity is under goods and services. Confirm that, Dr. General, and is gratuity under goods and services. We don't want to live here not being sure. Dr. General, is gratuity under goods and services?
I think, Chair, we can begin from the notes if they are there.
I think so.
But it should not be under goods and services.
The notes which page? You tell us the page.
Note 9. Page 19 shows goods and services.
Page 19, yeah.
Page 19.
Okay. Have you seen page 19? Well, accounting officer, have you seen? Let them show you. Isabel, you said you're called Isabel?
Yes, sir.
You go to page 19. No, me, by the way, not for us teachers. You know teachers. The first thing is to know your students' name. Not like... Take this to Canada. Thank you. Nice, you have said goods and services, and so look through it. Okay, you read them maybe. No. You are the one to assist Doctor, but
Mr. Chairman, I can help so that we don't spend a lot of time.
First read.
We have general expenses, communications, utility and property, supplies and services, professional services, insurance, travel, maintenance, inventories. That is it. I'm not seeing gratuity.
Dr. Emmanuel, are you seeing it? So, Isabel, where did you say the pension is under that?
I'm withdrawing that, Mr. Chairman.
So now if you are withdrawing, and yet your response is saying under absorption is as a result of that. So how do we proceed? Yes. Put on the microphone, Rosemary.
Mr. Chairman, on page 8, there is a provision for pension arrears paid during the year. But they have not captured what they are telling us. Because why did you choose to put it under goods and services instead of filling it there? Because there is a provision for that. Under payments for operating expenses down there before the cash flows.
You have seen?
We don't have any areas of pension that we paid during the year. So we cannot put it there.
Isabel, can you look at where it's good to have gone that page?
Yes.
Because, Mr. Chairman, in the explanation, they are talking of pension and gratuity payments. So are you telling us this only gratuity that you took to goods and services? Then where is the pension which you are also mentioning?
No, we wanted to refer to gratuity. Actually, it is not pension, because pension, we even had less money for pension. But the money that was returned was for gratuity.
So, Isabel, can we ask you a simple question? You have confirmed, did you pay any pension that year?
Yes.
Did you pay any gratuities, even if little, that year?
Yeah, we paid some.
If you did, Rosemary has taken us to page 8.
Yes.
In this cash flow, where is it recorded? Is it included in employee costs or goods and services?
No. The notes.
No. We're on page 8 where Rosemary has taken us. The little gratuity and the little pension you paid.
Yes.
Is recorded under what? Because let me tell you, you have goods and employee costs, goods and services, other expenses you have seen, and the purchase of equipment. So that little is recorded under what?
Actually, from the notes, you saw the employee costs. We have other employee costs.
So it is under employee costs?
Yes.
It is under employee costs.
Yes.
We all agree.
Yes.
If you go to now for appropriation on page 11, you get employee costs here is how much on page 11? How much is it? 6.1. 177. Exactly. On page 80, how much is it?
Page 8. It's the same.
Exactly. So it means the little gratuity, the little pension is within employee what?
Cost.
Yes. That's what we wanted to first confirm. Do we agree?
Yes, sir.
Now if we have agreed, these are now where two queries come in. Have you seen the 56 down?
Yes.
You go to the cash flow.
I'm there, sir.
Where is it showing 56?
It is down here under
other expenses.
Expenses, yes.
There you have put it as what? Social
benefits.
So are you saying they're not talking? There and here, if your other expenses is also there on page 11, you have seen. After social benefits, there's also other expenses. Have you seen below?
No. Mr. Chairman, this one just went on a different line, but it is.
Now, even if now, if that's the case, now that's why we're coming. So, what was the budget of other expenses?
The
budget. Yes, there must be a budget. So, what was the budget of other expenses?
That's why, Mr. Chairman, I talked about how if Miss classified.
No. You not take it there. Let's have it. I was about to, I studied in your school, in your region, but now, initially I had given you a benefit of that. Now I must come and explain to you. Either way it is here, there is a budget.
Exactly.
There is a budget.
Exactly.
You are not the only first hospital. We have, yesterday was the hospital. Friday was what? Masaka. Where the Guru. Why you are not Arua? Mbarara. My friend, you are not the only one. Why shouldn't you have this aligned?
I take note of it, sir.
In fact, we are at a loss.
Mr. Chairman, if the explanation is that this line went down, there is a figure of 39. What is it aligned? 194 million.
Those are
no, that's last year.
Comparative figures for the previous year.
And she has raised a very important thing. If last year you had 39,
yes.
This year last year you had 44. Why didn't you have what? Oh, okay. Where is the alignment? So here it is 0.
Yes, here it is 0 in the cash flow.
So 0.
Yes.
Confirm with the other expenses were not number 1. We have our consultants here who went to school. I want to take you to page 20. You start with page 20. Are you there?
Yes.
What is he saying? Social benefit, not number 13.
Social benefit.
What did he say?
56.
But you're saying it was a mistake.
See, here in the cash flow, it should have been on the line of social benefits, but you see, it has gone down under other expenses.
So now you have changed it. It's not in the report number 11.
Yeah.
Page 11 is okay. Are you saying page 11 is okay? So if page 11 is okay, then we'll go back to page. First confirm. Is page 11 okay? With having 56 there?
Yes.
Yeah, you have agreed.
Yes.
So it is only page 8 which made a mistake.
Exactly.
And then if you are saying that, then we'll concentrate on page 8. Page 11.
Page 11?
Yeah, we're going to concentrate there. So now, do you accept the gratuity is not part and parcel of the under-absorption?
No. The reason why I'm saying this, that no, is because we remained with the gratuity at the end of the financial year.
So the money which was swept back was in respect of gratuity?
Yes, part of it.
Then I think we don't understand. I'm at loss now also. If you have said peg 11 is right, okay, how much was the warrant of goods and services? Check there. How much is it?
See, 1 billion, 180.
1 billion 180. How much did you spend?
We spent 700.
And 30. So what was returned was how much?
26.
No, it is 1.18 minus this. These are just all errors. It should be 400 with 50 million, which the chair raised. You returned 450 million on goods and services. So did you buy? I don't know if you're seeing.
But Mr. Chairman, where is it indicated?
Because if you get this minus this, it's 450.
But where are the figures?
That's why there's a problem.
Maybe that is what they returned and kept some money somewhere in their drawers. Because it is not indicated.
You said the prince who read it to Musoga. You have got a thorough Musoga there. It's are you understanding the problem?
Yes.
So what do we do? You have said peg 11 is right. It's now where we said we have come back to it, concentrate on it.
Exactly.
The water general is saying there was under absorption. Now the under absorption we're saying is on goods and services. You are saying the under absorption is on employment costs. And I was saying no. Employment costs you even spent more, and we're still investigating where you got more. Is there a problem with this table?
Yeah, there is a problem on the figures given for warrants.
No, appropriation. Is there a problem on this table? If you say there's a problem, I'll say we shall see how to do as a committee. Is there a problem on this table?
And there seem to be problems. Maybe it's the language I'm using which is confusing. Otherwise, I agree that there is a problem, sir.
So we can't rely on it. Because the under absorption was the question Water General is raising is from this this table.
Yes.
And this table has an implication on the cash flow. Right?
Yes.
Which is on page what? 8. And because it has an implication on cash flow, can we go to page 9? Yeah, there, members, we got page 9. You see, closing balance was how much? 62,000.
Yes.
But what was opening?
The opening is 47.
What are you adjusting? How much?
We are adjusting 68.
Why? Adjustment on prayer year. That you see last year, I had overstated or understated. Now here you are saying that last year I declared 47 million, but in reality I had a deficit of 68 million. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
And that came from under absorption. Accounting officer, do you need time?
This table clearly there is a problem with that table, I must confess.
You need time.
Mr. Chairman, when these books were submitted to Parliament, they've become a record of Parliament. I'm getting a problem of us keeping these books the way they are. And I want to suggest, Mr. Chairman, to you that let these books be withdrawn, taken back and corrected so that we get proper books of accounts. That's my humble request.
I hope accounting officer, you see the tough ladies are saying you need time because we are not understanding, we are seeing adjustments. Maybe let us put it in another perspective. If you look at Peggy, so that you understand what Peggy, where the liabilities. Peg 31. You have seen? Goods and services were 340. You adjusted by 52,000. That means you discovered that there's a debt of 52,000 you had forgotten. Are you together? And if you adjust it, you have brought it. If you check page 7, it is there. Now, new commitments is 350 million. You are seeing?
Yes.
On goods and services, you had a balance of 450 million, but you're committing a debt of 350. Why would you take back 450 when you have a debt of 350? I don't know you understand me.
Yes.
So that's the question. We're saying, we gave you money for goods and services. Why didn't you pay? And you returned the money to the...
Mr. Chairman, that can be possible because these liabilities are mainly from two items, that is electricity and water. And once you have used all the money that you have for water and electricity, you cannot use other monies to clear water.
So this 350 is about water and electricity?
Majorly.
Where is it? Where is the schedule? There's no schedule here. You have not attached.
We can provide.
No, but this account should have had a schedule. Don't you have a schedule? It is in the commentary. This commentary. Peg 5. So the year has 695 million. What does it mean? I'm not understanding this.
Areas. Including the ones brought from the previous year.
So to electricity had 295. You have seen. You are saying the 295 was arrears, 54 was advance which was given to you by Minister of Finance and you never paid. Is that what you are saying?
Yes. Yes.
So it means for goods and services you are paid everything.
So,
apart from utilities, others you have paid.
Yes, the areas are only with respect to this. The rest of the expenditures were paid.
I think it should be that utilities take 295 out of the 350.
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So we overgave them money which they could not consume on other goods and services. They need more money on utilities than on the others. That's what you're saying.
It would mean that, but even other items we need. So like we said, we need to look at this.
No. You need to look at it.
Yeah. Because that picture is not good, and
the way we're saying it is the picture.
it's not good. And because for us, practically we are underfunded.
But you're returning 450 million. You see, that's why our mind is set.
That's why we said we need to look at it again.
450 million for the hospital is a lot of money.
Yes.
Who is in charge of procurement? You refuse to procure because they are not given you your part. Because I'm told nowadays these papers can fly unless they put there what? A stone, eh? They can. You see, accounting officer were worried. So the committee is worried. Unless you want to go and recast peg 11 to show what really was the right thing, to recast the cash flow, to show us what is the right position, to show the adjustments, how it came up, to show that it is the areas in relation to gratuity, not goods and what? Services. Are you getting what we're saying? If we can't see that, as we speak now, we are in hell here. One time? You want time?
Mr. Chairman, we need to really cast this as you've said.
Okay.
The representation is not.
Go and look at those, and we want you to go and do the following. What is the recommendation on drugs? Do you remember drugs? What are the issues on drugs? We want you to go and look at the other things on drugs, supplies, drugs, and uniform, stationery, and the uniform. And we're looking at 2016, 2017, up to date. You note it, eh? Now, what we look at what was, you can get the one with the recommendation we made. We're going to give you 1 week, eh? We want you to give us on medicine. The issue you're raising here that the budget, first of all, there's this you are saying, you had a budget and they delivered, there was a shortfall of your delivery.
Yes.
That means if your money was there, was it put back on your account? So that's what we want to invest. And this one has been moving on from year to year in. Because if I had a balance of 179 million the previous year, then it should be part of addition which have been added this year. Are we together? So that's why. So we want you to help us to understand. One, we start with, we're looking at 2016, 2017 to date. One, the medical stationery. What was the budget? What did you receive? I'm told the medical stationery is budgeted by Minister of what? Health. So, but what did you receive? Uniform. What did you receive? And at what cost was the delivery? Medicine. What are your delivery notes? You know, they gave you delivery notes for what you asked. Now, those which were not delivered, what did they tell you? So, of what, just like you have put here, it's under your vote, we have got a report here. We want you to get what happened. For example, you are supposed to have got 210 million worth of drugs, but you got only 179. It means that's the difference of almost 40 million in one circle. The next one you got less by, that was one circle. So if 40 million times was 6 circles, that's 200 and what? Almost 40 million. Altogether with the accounting officer. So medicine, what they delivered and what were they not delivered and what were the short deliveries. And 3, confirm if the price is in line with the market price. One state, the Cancer Institute says the price at National Medical Store is higher than the price in the what? In the market. But our hospital says the same. Maybe for you now, Guru, it is you are in. Now we want you to. We are giving you only 7 days. You recast this, and we need to finish. This committee is concerned about health. You can have a pothole. You can hit it and go away. But when you are sick, my mother, my grandmother, my friend, my what, and Naguru Hospital, sir, is where we all go. Nobody should say that those ones there. I stay in Chambogo, I go there. Maybe you have never seen us, but we go there. So for you to say it is for a lower class, you made a mistake. All of us go there. Is it the one near Nakawa?
It is the one.
Mr. Chairman, I can give some information.
Yes.
When I was mayor of this city,
she's going to be the mayor of Masaka now.
We initiated the upgrading of those hospitals. Naguru Hospital, Chirudu, Kawempe, Chisenyi, to decongest Mulago Hospital. Now, when you say that the wards are small, you need to expand, I don't know whether we shall be doing the same things each and every other day, because this is a new hospital. Why don't you plan properly?
You should have even gone underground.
Yes, Madam Vice Chair, through the Chair, it is true we have planned for this expansion. We've already submitted our concept paper to the Development Committee of Ministry of Finance through Health. And they have considered us for reappearance on 17th August again. We are going to do this because clearly the evidence shows that we are congested. And we have also been trying also to look out and mobilize resources through one of our big benefactors, the Chinese government. At each of these levels, they are cognizant of what is transpiring at hospital. If you came there, you really feel sad. This morning when I was going through a quick hospital round, I found patients not lying down, but standing, because they have nowhere to lie.
You are lucky that COVID is here. That's why many people are fearing to come. Some would be standing on the others.
Apparently, yes. In fact, the after effects of COVID, especially the lockdown, we had increased challenges there.
People were running out from hospitals.
Yes, but by the time they came back, they were sicker than they were before. Yes, so hence the increase in the death rates.
And I want to thank Auditor General here. He mentioned a lot about the drugs. And you never responded very well. We need you to respond better. Do you have always, did they push some drugs we have not asked for?
Yes, we had that experience, but now it is very minimal.
Yeah, if you have where they come, you say, you don't want chloroquine, they give it to you, and yet you have not what? Asked. Not it, when you got it. Do you have medicine about to expire? For example, in 2020, they gave you drugs remaining for 6 months.
We actually also experienced some expiry, not just about to expire.
Do that.
Yeah.
The reason we're raising it, I saw that world over, destruction of expired medicine is more expensive than buying the medicine. So when I want to remove mine from my store, I'll give you.
Yes.
Then you incur the cost of what? Destruction. Now, accounting officer, we have done what we can because you're a medical doctor and we like Naguru Hospital according to the Lord Mayor. We are not going to push you anywhere but allow you to go back and prepare your documentation better. And I would advise you work with Accountant General's office. You work with that man there, our auditor. He knows the interest. We are just, you see, for us as 6 levers, we just need straight things. Are we okay? Dr. Emmanuel, are we okay?
Yes, we are.
Okay, do you have any question for us?
I would like just to appreciate the points made us go through and realize some of our mistakes. I want to appreciate that one, especially the errors there. Sometimes even as they pass us when you've been discussing in a group and you think you've understood, when actually when it comes on the paper, it's quite different. So we pledge that we shall get back and recast this very well with the consultation with the Auditor General and come up with something more plausible and more usable and properly reflecting what has transpired on the ground. What I know is that we have tried out. What I know is that we have tried out. What I know is that we have tried out. What I know is that we have tried out. What I know is that we have tried out. What I know is that we have